I remember last time we talked about this blue on blue that you guys had. Was that in November platoon?
No, that was in Kilo.
Oh, that was in Kilo platoon.
Yeah, and that was the officer that was with us up in New Namcan.
Dang.
And it was, like I say, it was supposed to be a hammer and anvil op. It just went wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if he was stood up to shoot or if he was trying to wave and tell him to stop shooting. Anyway, he got hit, and killed him. So, and then we almost had another in November platoon. I forgot to mention this. So we're hitting this island. It's not a big island, but it had hooches all along one side. So they wanted us to go through and check out the hooches, and we had what we called white mice with us. They were Vietnamese intel guys that could look through things and find out if there's any VC stuff, you know what I mean, sort of thing. So we lands and we're sweeping through it, and I had this one white mice with me, and I had my 60. Well, the guy that planned this op and thought it was a good idea was our Det Golf guy. And Det Golf was your senior SEAL, was at Det Golf, and he was kind of in charge of all the other platoons that were spread out. And so we did it, and he was with us, and his interpreter. And we were told, everybody stay on this side when we patrol, because anything on the left side is a free fire zone, right? So we're walking along, and I'm looking at the woods, and also I see this flitting through the woods. So I bring my 60 up, take it off a safe, and I'm watching. Well, where the woods were, there was a space in another part of the woods where I wanted the VC, who I thought it was, to get out in the space. And then I'd hammer him, open up with my 60. And we were spread out a little bit because everybody was checking different things out as we're going along. So I had it off safe. I'm just laid it up on this rice bag, with rice on it, and just waiting. Who comes out? But the lieutenant commander, the Det Golf guy. I was so fucking pissed. If I'd have been a new guy, I'd have opened up, maybe killed him and things. So I told Jerry Fletcher, my LT, about it, and he never went out with us again. Because that was crazy. He was on the free fire zone. You know what I mean? And like you say, what if I'd been a brand new guy or something? But I wanted to wait till he got out so I had a clear picture before I opened up on him. Yeah.
I mean, even your mindset wasn't even, let me confirm this is a bad guy. You knew it was a bad guy. You were just waiting for the bad guy to be there.
Absolutely. I wasn't saying, hey, that might be one of our guys. I knew it was a bad guy because we had already briefed heavily, everybody stay on this side. Anybody over there, and you see him, open up on them.
When I was running training, man, I worked those guys. They'd have blue on blues all the time in training. I mean, we would just make stuff so confusing and just put the enemy in the wrong place and get guys confused. I wanted them to have blue on blues in training so they realized how easy it is to happen. So you get a guy, instead of making that decision, like, I'll just, there's probably get a good vantage point over here if I just walk over here and they'll know it's me. It's like, no, they won't know it's you. They'll kill you. So yeah, it's, man, people don't understand how confusing it gets out there, man. It gets confusing.
It does. That's where you're training in your, like I was telling you, what saved our butt in Vietnam was our immediate action drills, and have them so ingrained into us that it's dark, you know exactly where the guy's going to be and what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Whether it's a peel off or whether you're going to the right or left, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting out of the fire zone, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you had to have that, man. Those immediate action drills to me are the key, no matter what you're doing, whether it's urban or, I think, which I can't really say.
No, it's the same thing. It's the same thing in an urban enviorment. You got to have immediate action
just
drills.
Like, say you have a hooch there, and you're going to hit the hooch, and we know there's probably bad guys in it. And we're coming in. What we do is two guys would branch out to the right or left to get anybody from behind. Mm-hmm. The rest would go in. One guy would turn around, look that way, and the guys would go in, and that way they could shoot, 180.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And nobody was down. Now, if the hooch was covered and had foliage around it, then as we came in, one of the guys on the left would go down, lay down, look behind. The other guy would be right here at the corner so he could see anybody coming out a window, and then we'd have the other guy over here, and then we'd go in and hit it. But what I'm saying is when we did that, It was like that.
Yep.
I mean, that was our immediate action stuff that we did. That's how we'd hit a hooch.
Yeah.
And then when guys went in, they'd switch. One would swing high, one would swing low, just to check it out. Then they'd go through. Then they'd say clear, or we got someone. And then whoever was right next to the door, facing out, because we had our security and didn't know if anybody was going to come behind you, as they'd bring the guy out. Like I had my 60, I'd stick my 60 right between his legs, and he'd fall down. Then I'd put my 60 in his mouth and go shh. He wouldn't say much, and we'd take off.
Yeah, that you were talking about how the SAS. One time you went out on patrol with the SAS, and they went out. You were out there for like 10 days, and no one said a single word the whole time.
And if you did say something, you put your ear right next to the guy's, or your mouth right next to his ear and talk. But normally it was all hand signals.
But like what you're talking about, all the stuff that you just described, you do all that stuff without talking. Everyone just knows where to go. It's boom. Yeah. It's a standard operating procedure. It's the immediate action drill, and everybody knows exactly what to do. And that's
just like you hit a booby trap or something. The smartest thing to do is back away and come in a different way. But if you had to keep going, you'd feel it with your hand and grab the guy next to you behind you and show him where it was. Then you'd step over it, move on a few steps, wait till he got over it by grabbing the guy behind him, and you just keep moving.
Yeah, how often would you guys do that?
Not too often. We did run into him occasionally, but we were kind of lucky. We never hit. Plus, you'd see you'd be able to pick up the signs if you did happen to go on a trail. Mm-hmm. You could see broken branches facing it a certain way, or little sticks pointing a certain way, or actually we got landed one time in this rice paddy, and we looked after we got off. Everybody started looking around, and all you could see was two-doy signs, which meant minefield. Eesh. So we didn't move. We just called the choppers back in and got on and took off.
So your second deployment to Vietnam. How many casualties? No one got killed, right?
No, we didn't get anybody hit or killed.
No one got hit or killed, despite getting in all those gunfights.
Yep. Don't ask me, but it's just one of those things.
God's a frog, man.
Yeah, we figured, we're getting to the point. That's why we had 6-month deployments and not a year.
Yeah.
Or, whatever, because you start feeling like you're invulnerable,
Yeah.
But we were on the cutting edge, and we just had the firepower. We were better. I mean, you could have had the odd shot, like that one that went right by me or something that could have hit me right in the chest.
No, you had too much skill to get hit in the chest.
No, I don't know. It wasn't skill. That was pure luck, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's like, unfortunately, in combat, you can do everything right. You can still get killed, and you can do all kinds of things wrong and live.